Hello，有听到我的声音吗？嗨嗨嗨嗨，Hello Hello，声音是清楚的吗？Yeah, cool. Okay. Yoo-hoo! Alan's here. Grace is here. All right, we're about to get started in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get some water. And I am back. And here. How's everybody? Hope y'all's all right. Okay. Do you like this little background I have here? It's nice, huh? Mysterious. In space and all. Just so you know, um, today's class would be done in old English. Okay? That was part of the request I got. So we're gonna try that. Okay. We are going to try and do that. And I'll try to speak as clearly as I can over this thing. Ooh, sorry. And so just so you know, LEJ says echo. Are you getting echo? 有回音吗？ Yes. All right. Let me see how I can make it go away. How is the sound right now? How is the sound right now? Hello, hello. Okay, this is a little bit choppy here. For some reason, I'm getting a very choppy signal. Okay. Race is online. Okay, is everything okay right now? Is everything okay? Like sound, is the sound okay now? Are you hearing me clearly? Um, okay. Okay, for some reason we are hitting a bit of a snag here. We are hitting a bit of a snag. Oh, let me just get that down here. Hitting a bit of a snag. We have hit a snag here. Okay, what does that mean? That means like we're going through a bumpy sort of patch. Okay, that's a bad patch right there. So I hope we can write it out, and we'll just keep going, and hopefully the network will resolve. This problem won't be there anymore. Okay, hello everybody. This is our third class today, and today we are going to do this class in all English. Okay, so buckle up. All right. So this is what we have today, and we are going to be. What's going on? All right, we're going to be talking about how to run a meeting in English. All right. Please keep me updated about the situation with the connection. Okay, please let me know. 就是继续让我知道. Okay, please keep me updated as to if everything is okay now, or is the sound still very choppy? All right, very choppy. Very choppy. Okay, that means it goes on and off. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Or do I sound like a robot or something? Please let me know. All right, so let's get to it. Right. Okay, about running a meeting in English. What are the things we should know about it? Okay. About running a meeting in English is much like running a meeting in Chinese. If you do have the experience, then I don't think that'd be much of a problem for you. Okay, so the first thing we gotta go is telling everybody, oh, the meeting is about to start. So how do you start that meeting? How do you do that? You can tell people good morning, or depending on what time it is, it might be afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. You tell people, if we are all here, let's get started. Or let's start the meeting. Or simply just let's start. Okay, let's look at this. Sometimes I will have examples right here. So good morning, everyone. If we are all here, let's get started. This is very simple, and nothing would go wrong with this sentence. Okay, of course you can also thank people for coming. Right, thank you everybody for coming, or you can thank people for making the trip. For example, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making the trip to Taoyuan, right, or making a trip to our headquarters here in Taiwan. I have foreign guests from, I don't know, Hong Kong or Japan or Europe. Although I don't think they can make the trip now, right? They probably can't be making a trip within a year or something. Man, this situation is really tough. All right. So most of the time, I think you'd be making these meetings online. Do you guys still use Zoom? Or you have your own thing? Or do you have your own platform? I wonder. Okay, somebody please answer me. All right, how do you do online meetings? What platform do you use? I'm very curious because I'm trying to find a platform for myself as well. Okay, all right. Just a quick question. How are we doing sound-wise? Let me do a quick sound check. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Are we okay with sound right now? All right, please leave a message and let me know how things are going. Okay. Oh, you use Skype. All right, thank you. All right, we're using Skype. I hope that's a reliable thing. Okay, so when you want to start the meeting, tell people very simply, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. If we're all here, let's get started. Or let's all get started, okay? Or let's begin. Or if you want to be friendly, say, hello, everybody. Shall we begin? Okay, shall we begin? Shall we begin? Shall we begin? All right, this is another way to tell people. Oh, people use Google Hangouts, okay? But that sort of requires everybody to have an account, right? Everybody's got to sign in, yeah? Oh, well, it has its benefits. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so if you have somebody joining, okay, some new participant joining for the first time, or something like that, it is a good thing to sort of introduce them, all right? All right, so what kind of sentences can you use? You say, join me in welcoming so-and-so, in welcoming John. All right, John from something like that. Okay, some people use Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, that's a good one. All right, thank you. All right. Remember, not forget that. Sometimes people forget that. All right, we are pleased to welcome someone. All right, it's a pleasure to welcome someone. All right, I'd like to introduce somebody. Well, I don't think you've met so-and-so. Okay, so here we say, look at this example here. All right, we take this. Before I get started, I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Tom McLeod from our office in Tokyo. Okay, so we got somebody joining us from Tokyo. Very nice. Okay, Mr. Tom McLeod. He's one of my very favorite authors. He's a teacher. He's an art educator, teaching us the benefits and the artistic measures of comic. Okay. So these are the sentences that you can use when there are new participants or somebody people might not be familiar with. Okay, use these sentences. Join me in welcoming. So we are pleased to welcome, pleasure to welcome, or like to introduce so-and-so. I don't think you've met. Or simply just say, please meet Tom. All right, please meet Tom from Texas. Please meet John from London. All right, so that's a simple one. All right. Right, let's get on to the next one. And also, it is very important to tell people what is the principal objective of this meeting. What are we here to do, right? So how can you say that? These are the sentences you can use, okay? Here, it's important to begin the meeting by clearly stating the main objectives for the meeting. Tell people that we are here today to do something. Our aim is to... Our aim, all right, that means sort of like your goal. Our goal here is to do something. Our aim is to finalize the report for Friday. All right, finalize the report for Friday. That means you got to wrap things up. We are trying to get a go-ahead. All right, get a go-ahead. We are trying to find a way to have the green light. We are trying to nail down the final details. These things. Okay. So what's the main purpose for most of your meeting? Okay, please, if you could tell me in the message box. I know you guys have a lot of meetings. What sort of meetings do you have? Like most of the time, I would like to know, right? So here we go. Let's look at the example here. We got an example right here. As we are here today to discuss the upcoming merger. What is a merger? That's like when two companies or departments merge. That means combine together, as well as go over last quarter's sales figures. Remember, it's got to be a plural, okay? You don't forget the S right here, okay? As well as go over. Go over means we try to review something. We're going to review the sales figures for last quarter. Okay, so that's the third thing you got to do. All right, you tell people what it is that you're trying to achieve in today's meeting. That's how you say that. Okay. What if somebody's not here? All right, what if somebody's not here? Oh, you got to give an apology, right? Apologize for them. If someone important is missing, it is a good idea to let others know that they will be missing from the meeting. Or it is also very polite to let the participants know why that person is missing. Or what, he's got something more important to do, clearly. All right. So what is that something which is more important than this critical meeting we're having today? Oh my God. So how do we do that? How do we do that? You can tell people, I'm afraid somebody is not here. Name of the participant. Who was not here? Who? All right. What daring soul is not here? All right. I'm afraid Jonathan can't be with us today. He's in, or she's in if it's a lady. I have received apologies for the absence of, oh, this is a very formal way to say this, all right? I have received apologies for the absence of Jonathan, let's say Jonathan, who is in Paris right now, okay, on a business trip, on an emergency business trip. That's why he cannot be with us today, because he's been called away to deal with something in Paris. All right, let's look at another example. He says, I'm afraid Mark can't be with us today. He is in Paris meeting with clients, but will be back next week. Okay, Mark can't be with us today. And so this is telling people, I'm afraid. It doesn't mean you're actually afraid or something, okay? It just means, it's just, unfortunately, something's happening, okay? It's not like, ooh, I'm so scared Mark is not here. No, it's not. It's just that, it's just a way of saying that, well, so-and-so is absent right now. And it can't be helped, all right? Okay, so that's in situations where you have someone absent, someone who should be there but is not. All right. Okay. So, oh, sorry. That's just popped, right? That was a pop. Okay. So, reading the minutes of the last meeting. This is also something that is often done in meetings, right? We sort of recapture what was done last time, or tell people where we're going to pick up again from last time. Okay, so let's look at the examples of that. First, let's go over the report. First, let's go over the report from the last meeting, which was held on which date. So very important here. Tell people when that last meeting happened. When was it? Okay. It is also for people who are probably joining a meeting for the first time. Okay. But let them know that, hey, we're going to deal with something that happened so-and-so time last week or a month ago. Okay, we did this decision. And if you're joining us today, please, let's recapture what happened last time. Let's do a little recap. All right, let's do a little recap. Recap. All right. It's like a little reminder. Remind everybody. Reminder. All right. Here are the minutes from our last meeting, which was on so-and-so date, which was on whichever date. Here are the minutes. Hey. We do a lot of meetings. You probably know what minutes are. Minutes. It's like a record. It's like a written record. It doesn't really literally have to go minute by minute. It's not a transcript. Okay. It's not a transcript. It's not a transcript. A transcript is written words of what had been said. Okay, word by word or verbatim. If you heard that word, verbatim. That means word by word. Okay, that'll be a transcript. But minutes are not transcripts. They are, well, you know what they are. They're just big bullet points of outlines. So you say, here are the minutes from our last meeting, which was on last Friday. All right. Okay, let's look at the example. First, let's go over the minutes from the last meeting, which was held last Friday. Kevin, could you please read the notes? This is also another way to say records from our last meeting. Okay, so everybody would like to do that. Okay, if you want to be more, if it's a more friendly atmosphere, you could probably just say, here's what we have from our last meeting. Start reading the notes, okay? Or let's go over our last meeting. Here are the bullet points from our last meeting. Bullet points. That means the main points. All right, what we did last time, okay? Okay. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. All right. So, dealing with the recent developments. So this is also a way to check in with others, and it will help you keep everybody up to date on progress on various projects, because we're in a company and everybody's working on all sorts of different projects, and we have meetings overlapping each other. So it's a good idea to check in with everybody and keep everybody on the same page. Just sort of remind people what's going on with this project. Okay, let's look at the example sentences here. Say, Jack, can you tell us how XYZ project is progressing? All right, or you can say, what's the progress? If you put it in a noun form, remember it's progress. If it's a verb form, it's progress. Okay, progress. All right, Jack, can you tell us how the XYZ project is progressing? Or Jack, can you tell us what's the progress on XYZ project? Remember that one. Preposition is on. Progress on. Okay, progress on something. What is the progress on something? Okay, next, Jack, how is the XYZ project coming along? Also a good way, also a very casual way to say things. So I've explained this concept before, that the way things go, it's like on a linear strip. Things progress on a linear sort of idea. So we would ask people, hey, how's it going? How are things moving? Right? How are things coming along? They all have this sort of movement in them. Right? Okay, next one. John, have you completed the report on the new accounting package on? Have you completed on? Okay, remember that on the new accounting package. So if you want to ask somebody if they have finished something, if they've done something already that they should, okay, you can use this sort of sentence. Okay. Next one, has everyone received a copy of the TriStar Foundation reports on current marketing trends? Has everyone received a copy of something? That is also a way to keep everybody in the loop or on the same page. I'm sure you have heard of the phrase in the loop, right? Okay, next one says, I'm sorry, not next one. Let's look at the example sentence. It says, Joe, please tell us how the final arrangements for the merger are coming along. Joe says, it's moving forward. Okay, next one. Let's move forward. let's move forward to the next one. All right, use these phrases to transition to the main focus of your meeting. Now we're getting into the meat. We're getting into the beef of things. All right, so if there is nothing else we need to discuss, let's move on to today's agenda. Very important word for you. Agenda. Agenda. And the preposition is on the agenda. Okay. So if there is nothing else we need to discuss other than our main agenda, right? If there's nothing else we need to discuss, if we got everything out of the way, let's move on to today's agenda. So very important is the preposition here. All right, and I like this one. It says, shall we get down to business? Shall we get down to business? It's very, very sort of snappy kind of way to say things. Shall we get down to business? Let's begin. All right, let's do it. Or is there any other business? If there are no further developments, I'd like to move on to today's topic. If there are no further development, means there are no other things, there are no other distractions and stuffs. I like to move on. I like to move on to what we're here to do today. All right. Okay, let's look at the example here. It says, once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Now, shall we get down to business? All right, so if you did already thank everybody, like we talked about in the beginning, thank you everyone for making a trip to Guangda, Taoyuan, Taiwan, and then blah 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 blah, and then you're about to go into business. You're about to start with your main topic. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Now, let's get down to business. All right, let's do this. All right. Here we go. Introducing the agenda. Introducing the agenda. These are the sentences for you if you want to introduce the agenda. Okay, before you launch into the main points of the meeting, you should double check with everybody and see that everybody's got a copy of the agenda for the meeting. Again, this is another window of opportunity for you to check with everybody that we are all on the same page and we're ready to go. All right. So here's a sentence for you. Have you all received a copy of the agenda? There are 3 items on the agenda. First, blah, blah, blah. Second, we're going to do something else. Third, something else. I am not particularly fond of saying firstly, secondly, thirdly. In the adverb form. It says first, second, third, or first, next, finally. Okay, I prefer to say first, next, finally, or first, second, third, instead of firstly, secondly. Okay, that's just a very outdated, antiquated way of saying things. All right, third. Shall we take the points in this order? It means, shall we deal with the points in this order? This is especially useful when you're trying to change the orders of discussion, okay? But if you're just going from point 1, 2, 3, like you're just following it, then you don't have to tell people, shall we take points in this order? 1, and then 2, and then 3. No, you don't have to. All right? It's written right there. All right? You don't need to. All right, next one. If you don't mind, I would like to go in order or skip item 1 and move on to item 3. All right, if you want to go in order, you just tell people you're going to go in order. Or you can tell them you want to skip a certain item or you want to go straight into. Okay, this is another phrase you can use. I want to go straight into item so and so. All right. And the last part, I suggest we take item 2 last. All right, okay, you can say, I suggest we deal with item 2 last. All right, I suggest we deal with item 2 last. Okay, let's look at the example here. Have you all received a copy of the agenda? Good. Shall we take the points in order? All right, you're just trying to make sure that everybody's Everybody has an idea how this meeting is about to go on. Okay. Is everybody still awake? Are you all here? Do I still have you? I mean, again, if you have any questions, please type them down in the message box. Okay, I will look at it from time to time and see if I can answer you. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next one. What do we do after we have introduced the agenda? Okay, then we allocate roles. That means you ask people to do things like administrative things, chores for this meeting. Okay, name of participant, that's like Susan. All right, Susan has agreed to take the minutes. Oh, that means she wants to take, not she wants, she has agreed to. She probably doesn't want to do it. She has agreed to. She's okay with taking the minutes. Okay, she agreed to take the minutes for today. And then, name of participant, let's say John, has kindly agreed to give us a report on this matter. All right, he wants to talk about this matter. He would like to tell us more about something. Right? That's how you use it. Teddy will lead point 1, and then Jenny point 2, and then Suzanne point 3. Okay, that's how you allocate. I mean, this is not really allocating. This is probably more in the realm of announcing agenda. You're also telling the participants what's going to happen today. All right, who is going to be responsible for whichever point. All right. Okay, name of participant, would you mind taking notes today? All right, you probably ask this one first, and then Susan agreed to take the minutes. Okay, example. Joanna, would you mind taking notes today? Okay, this is a weird translation. It's Joanna, not Alice. Okay, asking Joanna if she minds taking the minutes for today or taking notes for today. Okay, now, agreeing on the ground rules for the meeting. Okay, this is a little bit misleading. If I say ground rules, that doesn't really mean the same thing in Chinese as this one. If you say ground rules, that's also sort of talking about the structure of the meeting, the way we are going to conduct this meeting, all right? Contributions, timing, decision making, etc. Okay, it's about those things. Okay, we will hear a short report. Okay, here we will hear a short report on each point first, followed by a discussion around the table. Around the table. It means like everybody throughout the room. Okay, everybody's got to say something. Next one, I suggest we go around the table first. That means that everybody say something. Everybody give their opinion first. Then we probably brainstorm and then gather up all the ideas and then try to figure out something. The meeting is due to finish. Oh, very important. Tell people what time is this thing supposed to end, right? We are going to end at 17:30, okay, or 5:30 p.m. You know, something like that. Let people know how long they got to be sitting here. Next one, we'll have to keep each item to 10 minutes. Preposition, we have to keep each item to 10 minutes. That means you got to finish within 10 minutes. Otherwise, we'll never get through. Otherwise, we'll never finish. All right, never get through. We may need to vote on item 5 if we can't get a unanimous decision. What is unanimous? Unanimous. Uni means one. Unanimous means, you know, the people right there, they all unanimous. It's related to animus, all right? Thinking, minds, right? Saying mind, one mind. That means everybody's agreed to something, all right? If we can't get a unanimous decision, that means if we can't have everybody agree to something, we're gonna have to take a vote. Okay, we're gonna have to take a vote. All right, look at the Example here, I suggest we go around the table first to get everybody's feedback. That's like everybody's opinion on something, okay? Something we have already discussed or people have already seen or people have already read, okay? More likely that's going to be in an email pre-meeting, okay? After that, we'll take a vote. Mind the verb here. We'll take a vote. That's when vote is a noun. If you want to use vote as a verb, just use it as is, okay? We'll vote, like that. If you're the host of a meeting, if you're running the meeting and you would like everybody to take, you would like everybody's input on this or a decision, their votes on this, just say, shall we vote? Shall we vote on this? Or shall we vote? You don't have to go, by a show of hands, those in favor. That's too formal for a modern day meeting, unless it's like a legal thing, right? By a show of hands, those in favor. This is very legalese. This is very rigid language. You probably don't need that sort of atmosphere. Okay? Just say, let's vote, or shall we take a vote? Okay. Okay. I got a question here. How to use due to this phrase? One of the meaning is 由于, but in here 看来不是. Where did we have due to? Where do we have due to? I can't remember. All right, if somebody would remind me, I'm gonna get back to that. Okay. Okay, let's go. First item on the agenda. First item on the agenda. All right. So let's start with something, or shall we start with? You get a lot of the. You get an idea. Like a lot of this has come up, right? Shall we do something? That is. Sorry. Fix this a little bit. Okay, that is sort of like the power of you as the meeting runner to say, shall we do something, as like a magic word in there. When you say it, people got to do it. Okay, shall we start with? That means we're going to start with, all right? But in a polite way. So, the first item on the agenda is so-and-so. The first item on the agenda is the carnival next week. Oh, we gotta have a carnival next week. Let's see how we're gonna deal with that. Jen, would you like to kick off? Kick off. This is a very football language. That means to start the game, right? There, you know, the kickoff, right? The kickoff in a football game. That means to start the football game. Will, would you like to introduce this item? That means also, would you like to take over? Would you like to start on something? All right. We're going to talk more about taking over the grounds. All right, shall we start with the first item? Good. Paul will introduce our plans for the merger, and then we'll discuss the implications. All right. Okay. I think I have something here. Let's go back. Let's go back. Go back. See what we got. Oh, the meeting is due to finish at something. Okay. Here, due means planned. Okay? It is supposed to. Okay, it is planned to. Due to finish at a certain time. This due is sort of like when your boss tells you that the report should be on his desk by Friday. Then he will tell you this report is due Friday. This report is due Friday. This is the due. This is not due to. because of. Not because of, but supposed to. Okay, something is supposed to happen right there. It's like due on Friday. Due on Friday means that on Friday, this report should exist in its fullest form on my desk. Okay, and then right here, this meeting is due to finish at 5:30. It means by 5:30, it is planned. It is supposed to finish. We are supposed to have concluded the meeting already by Friday. That good? I hope I've answered that. Okay, this is actually not another meeting. They are sort of in the same realm, right? But if you want to think of it easier, an easier way to think about it, that'll be this one is due. Due means supposed to, planned to, right here, due. And due to, because of, that's used in another context. Okay, very good question. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yingzhu. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's move on to closing an item. How do we close an item? You can tell people, I think that covers the first item. What is that covers? Covers means been discussed. Okay, that covers. That's got all these things discussed. We've dealt with the first item. All right. Shall we leave that item? Shall we leave? Or you can say, shall we leave it at that? Shall we leave it at that? It means like what? That's enough. Okay, that's enough. We've taken enough time dealing with this item. All right. If nobody has anything else to add, okay, everybody's had their say. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on to the next item. Okay, so remember, ET is item. All right. I think that covers the important points of the merger. Next item. All right, that's the sentence we got. All right, moving on. All right. We also got to move on. All right, moving on to the next one. These phrases will help you transition to the next item on the agenda. Okay, let's move on to the next item. The next item on the agenda is so-and-so. Now we come to the question of something. Okay, now let's move on to the next item. We're having a bit of a personnel crunch lately. That crunch means trouble. All right, crunch means trouble. It's like a tight spot. Okay, we've been having some trouble with something. Okay, and then next one, or sometimes even you are running the meeting, you have to give control to the next participant, yielding the floor, if you would. That's a kind of an old way to say it, yielding the floor. All right, if you have the floor, that means it is your time to say things. It is your time to speak. Okay, what kind of sentences can you use? Here we go. I like to hand over to Joseph. Hand over. Okay, hand over to Joseph, who is going to lead the next point. Right, Dora, over to you. I like this one. Very simple. Very snappy. Okay, no extra nonsense. All right. I like to hand over to Jeff, who is going to discuss the personnel issues. Personnel, remember that? Okay, not personal. Okay, personnel. So I'm going to give the floor over to Jeff. He's going to tell us about some of the personnel issues we're having. Okay. Summarizing. So you as the runner, you as the person who is in charge, you as the person who is keeping pace of this meeting, should also be in charge of summarizing things. Okay, summarizing would help people understand what's been talked about, what is going on. All right, before we close, let me just summarize the main points. To sum up, for example, to sum up, we will have the carnival 2 weeks from now, and 3 departments are going to cooperate in making this happen. I just did that. All right. In brief, or shall I go over the main points? Shall I go over the main points? That means I'm going to go over the main points and you're going to listen. All right. All right, let's look at the example. To sum up, we've moved forward with the merger and expect, we've been talking about the merger a lot, with merger and expect to start work on the project in May. Also, the personnel department has decided to hire additional staff to help us with the increased demand. And so that's two things we talked about, and I'm trying to summarize this, okay? And moving on. So when you do this, people would know that you're about to finish. Okay, we're about to finish now. So let's set a meeting for next time, okay? Suggesting and agreeing on time, date, and place for the next meeting, if there's a next meeting, all right? So here we go. As you end the meeting, make sure to arrange for the next one, if necessary. How do you do that? Say, can we fix the next meeting, please? Or simply by asking, what time or when do you think the next meeting shall be? I just ask people that. Okay, so the next meeting will be on which day, the something of which month, at, this would be the time. Okay. Okay, for example, so the next meeting will be on Friday, the 16th of March at 10:30. All right. So that's your example right there. I just did that. What about the following Wednesday? How's that? Because some people might not be good this Wednesday. So what about the following Wednesday? All right. So the next one. So see you all then. This is what you say when you have already got a date nailed. Before we leave, I'd like to fix the next meeting. I don't like to say fix. I like to say set. Right? Set time for. Right? I know that's a lot of words, but so there is no like misunderstanding. I like to set time for the next meeting. What about next Thursday? I'm asking everybody. Okay with next Thursday? And then you thank everybody, thanking participants for attending this meeting. All right. I like to thank Marianne and Jeremy for coming over from London. This is especially, I mean, now people are not coming from London anymore, but hopefully in, I don't know, 6 months when we can all travel again, we can thank people coming over from London. That'll be awesome, right? I'd like to thank Marianne and Jeremy for coming over from London. Okay, thank them for something. Thank you all for attending. Thank you for your participation. Remember, that's got to be possessive. Your participation. Thank you all for attending. Or you can say, thank you for your input. Thank you everyone for your efforts on making this happen. Thank you all for your participation, and I'll see you next Thursday. So you have set the date, and then you thank everybody. I'll see you next time, right? And now, how do you close that meeting? You close the meeting very simply, because everybody's tired and gotta go. Close the meeting with a simple statement and say, this meeting is closed. I declare the meeting closed. I declare. Wow, that sounds regal. All right, I declare this meeting closed. In a less formal situation, in a more casual situation, just say, let's call it a day. All right. All right. Good job, everyone. Let's call it a day. Let me write that down for you. Tell people, good job. Good job. Good job, everyone. Let's call it a day. All right, let's call it a day. It means that let's finish, all right? Or you can say it's been a good day, or it's been a long day. If you're meeting for a long time, that'll be a long day. All right, I want to share something else with you before we finish. Something we've been doing for a lot lately. Actually, we just had a little bit of a problem with the online connections, right? We just had that. Oh my God, all right? You can ask, is everybody here? This is for online meetings. Is everybody here? let's do a quick sound check because we just had a big problem with our sounds, right? Let's do a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? You can ask, can everybody hear me okay? Anybody having trouble with audio or visual? Or you can just simply say with sounds or images, or with the connection. You can ask that. If you want to ask like a specific person, you just ask, Mike, are you on? Or you want to say online, you can say online. Or I'll just say, are you on? Are you on? Is Mike here? All right. So in the same category, if somebody's off, if you suspect that somebody's got cut off, you just ask Mike, is he off? Is he off? All right. Okay, please mute until it is your turn to speak, please. Especially if you have used Zoom before, whenever you make a sound, it just plays the sound. So if you have like 30 people in Zoom, that'd be pretty noisy. So you would ask people, please mute until it is your time to speak, please. Or if you're the host of the meeting, you can say, excuse me, I would like to mute everybody. I would like to mute everybody until it is time for you to speak. Okay. Next one, Teddy, your mic's off. All right. If somebody's talking clearly, but nothing's coming out, you say, hey, your mic's off, or your webcam's off. We can't see you. All right. Or you can call them and say, hey, your webcam's still on, man. All right. We had that Zoom meeting on YouTube a few days ago. Like the guy forgets to turn off his webcam after the meeting. Try to avoid that. All right. I'm having a little problem with the internet here. See, like 40 minutes ago, I was having a little problem. Turn down your speaker. Turn down your speaker because most of the time you get an echo, right? You get an echo if your speaker's too loud. Next one, I guess Joe just got cut off. If Joe's not on, he's off. He's not responding, or his frame just freezed. His frame just freezed. That means it's not moving. Sorry, I'm gonna move my big head out of the way. Let me move my big head out of the way. All right, Joe's frame just freezed. It means it's not moving now. All right, could you please repeat that? All right, sometimes you would do that because it's a little bit choppy. If the audio is kind of choppy, say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Okay, could you please repeat that? Or you want to tell people after you got reconnected back, after you re-enter the Zoom, re-enter the room, tell people I got as far as something. So you can tell them, hey, you can pick up from. All right, I got as far as popcorns. Okay, so we were talking about carnivals, right? We were talking about celebrations and stuff. We got to popcorns. So I got as far as popcorns. And so you can pick up from popcorns. All right, tell people that. Okay, so this is for online meetings, which we are having more and more often now. Okay, I'm pretty much done for today. So now, please ask me some questions if you got them. All right, please let me know. And also, I would like to hear some of your feedbacks on how are we doing with the old English thing. Is that okay? Is everything all right? Do you like it when we do all English? I mean, I like it. I like it when we do all English. I guess Joe just got cut off. I don't understand the question. Sorry, Anderson. For online meetings. What's your question? I know there's like a 10 seconds delay right here, so it's a little bit awkward, but we'll get through. We will get through. Let's go, Anderson. Let's go, Anderson. Oh, there's a typo. Yes, that is a typo. Yes, you're right. You know what? Let me just fix that. Thank you very much, Anderson. Yes. I guess Joe just got cut off. Thank you very much. Yeah, people, this is G. Anderson just told you. All right, Ying Ju asks if okay, tell people that you can tell excuse me, there's a lot of background noise. Okay, I can hear a lot of background noise. Could you try to do something about that? Or you can tell them, oh, maybe you should turn the speaker down a little bit. Okay, it's very noisy on your end. It's, let me see. Oh, let me just write that down. What am I doing? Let's see. Let's do that. Okay, I'm just gonna do that right here because I can. Okay, it's very noisy. It's very noisy on your end. It's very noisy on your end. Could you I don't know, what do you want him to do? Could you please turn down the, I don't know, maybe speaker? Okay, or the TV if people have TV on, all right, or people have radios on, or the music on, like that. What is the meaning of I got as far as? Was I'm sorry. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes I have a meeting and my cat's really loud. 有时候我猫叫得很大声，那觉得很尴尬。Or if you have the dog, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, my dog is too loud. In that case, there's not much you can do. You can't shut down a dog, right? 不能把狗关掉吧？you say, oh, I'm sorry, please, could you repeat that again? Or perhaps you can ask people, could you take the meeting to, could you take your phone to another room, or do it in another room? Or you can ask them, can you do something about the dog? Or can you do something about the barking? Okay. The barking. 狗在叫嘛 Bark. Okay, what is the meaning of I got as far as? Okay. 好，我来中文说明啊。I got as 什么叫 as far as？ 如什么一样的远嘛？如什么一样的远，就是最远到了哪里？就是指刚才虽然中文翻译起来怪怪的啦，说最远到什么地方这样子，但是呢，它的意思就是说，在结束之前，最后我所听到的是什么东西？最后我用到的是什么东西？最后我听到的是哪个部分？叫做I got as far as。这个用法还可以。怎么样子去用呢？它也可以用在，比如说你跟你的朋友一直讨论说，哎呀，我一直很想要，比如说我一直很想要，可以攻上 K2 啊，这个我要爬山，我这个一直很想要攻上 K2，可是呢，我在这个每次啊，只要到了这个山脚下那个地方的时候啊，我的高山症就发作，我每次都只能到 base camp， 我每次都只能到 base camp， 那你就可以说啊 I got as far as base camp and then I got really uncomfortable every time. The furthest I've made is to base camp. 这样子 So I got as far as base camp, but then it's too uncomfortable for me to move on. Things like that. That's another use of as far as. Okay. Beth says full English course is good, but need to be easy and useful as today. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much, Beth. Thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate anybody who would give me like any sort of feedback, and it would help me a lot in understanding how our course should move along, and what kind of stuff I should be talking about next time. Well, you know what? Why don't you just tell me what type of stuff would you like to know more about? That'll be cool. Okay, and after the meeting, after this streaming is closed, if you have any more questions, you can always leave your message here. Okay. 我用中文讲一次好了，就是这个直播关掉之后呢，如果你还有问题的话，你可以留在这一个影片的下方。因为你留在这边的话，我就可以 YouTube 会通知我，就对，我就可以马上看怎么样子来反应回答了怎么反应。Okay, so I can answer you. Okay, I can answer your question will get answered. 你的问题才可以得到回答嘛。Okay, Ying Yu asks, in terms of, what is in terms of? In terms of, what is term? Term 其实term 意思是，它可以是一种形态的意思，形式、形态。所以说，字的形态我们就会说 term 嘛，对不对？一些字它们常常组在一起使用，就会叫做一个 term， 一个说法，一个用法。那 term 你也知道，常常叫做比如说学期一个学期叫做一个 term， 一个 term， 对不对？为什么他们叫做一个 term 一个 term？ 他们就是一个固定的时间，有一些事情应该要发生，而大家也都习惯了这样子的形态，就是什么？就是学期跟学年这种形态，我们已经习惯了，所以学生的上下学期叫为 first term、second term 有的地方的学制是有3学期的third term 这样子有的地方的形态，所以 in terms of 什么什么，意思就是鬼话翻译就是怎么样，在形态的就是以什么方面来说啦，知道以什么方面来说？比如说我问说，你最近还好吗？我听说你们那边的你们那边状况不是非常好就时间管理上面而言。那么我这个就时间管理上面而言，我就会用什么 in terms of time management, I hear you guys are having a bit of a crunch. I hear you guys are in quite the snag. I hear you guys are having quite the trouble in terms of time management. 我可以用这样子的方式去解释。不是解释去表达。OK， 这就是 in terms of。in terms of 其实很简单，就是就哪方面来说。in terms of 点点点就是就点点点方面来说，就点点点的样貌来说。Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, everybody all right? Well. 好，那如果我们今天差不多到这个地方了，看我要用到了嘛 ？OK，if I think that covers everything for today. Okay, I think that covers everything for today. I'm trying to end the meeting. So how do I end the meeting here? 我们刚才有学到嘛 ？How do I end the meeting here? 在这边 ，The meeting is closed. All right, this class is finished. Okay, let's call it a day. 好，按我们下一次了。Next time will be in 2 weeks. Okay, we will decide what sort of topic shall be there. Or if you have any suggestions, 如果你有什么建议的话，也可以跟我说，或者是跟Grace 说也可以。然后大家记得要到系统里面去做随堂测验。Okay, do the quiz in your system, sign in and do that. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay? All right.